So Alberto was having a couple questions with symmetry and laying out UVs. First of all, it's a little confusing because we've got this guy, this head, and this one, so I'm not sure what's what here. But I'm just going to assume that this is the most finished character, and just hide all that stuff, Control H, and maybe our image planes too. And let's get this thing, make sure the pivot point is centered. I'll just put it, I'm going to hold down D and V to snap it to his crotch to get it centered. And then I'll just click the Y-axis, and it's a little confusing what the bottom of his feet are, but if I hold down V for point snap, D and V, should snap. Oops, somehow I lost that Y translate. It should only go down, it shouldn't go over. Let's try that again. Not working. Undo that. Let's try it from this view. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to click this now. Now that's yellow. Okay, now I can do D and V. I did it before I went into pivot move mode, which is when I hold down V. So now it's centered left to right, and it's also at the bottom of his feet. Put him on the grid, on the origin that is, and it's a little hard to tell because his feet aren't flat. And then let's go to the front view and kind of rotate him 90 degrees. Hold down E, click my left mouse and use discrete rotate, and then I'll rotate in 15-degree increments. Let's move this to the origin here, just holding X for grid snap, middle mouse dragging. Okay, so now that it's kind of placed right, what you had said was you had a problem with symmetry. So I'm going to select that, go into Modeling Toolkit, turn on Symmetry, and I'm getting this error. So when that happens, there's nothing obvious I can see right now, but what I'm going to do is select one side of him and remirror it over. So actually I can see right here on the face right away, see that kind of, it's asymmetrical on the nose there. So I'm going to delete one side. Go into perspective here, and oh, that back of the head, that's a problem. You're going to want to subdivide that, but I won't do that at the moment. So I'm going to double click here, and hopefully I've got the whole edge there. Control right mouse click, two vertices to convert that to vertices. And then I can just change this to absolute transform and type 0 in X while I'm in move mode. And let me just get in the front view so you can see what happens. You should see all of those points line up along the origin line there. 0, enter. Okay, nice and straight. Did something funny happen with his mouth there? Or? I think it's alright. Let me just undo that to make sure. Something did. Okay. Yeah. That's the problem. Okay, so I just have to remove those from my selection. There was some that were not along the center line. So I'm going to hold down Control and deselect. Go into vertex mode here. Hold down Control and deselect those. Okay, I didn't see that I had those selected. Okay, now that looks okay. Once again, 0, enter. Okay, yeah, that was much more subtle. And again, front view, those should all be along the center line. Looks good. Object mode. And yes, this is already at the origin. We were very careful to snap it to the origin. Edit, duplicate special options. I always like to reset this before I use it. Scale -1 in the X. This first column is X, Y, and Z. So scale X of -1 will mirror it over to the other side. Select the two sides. Mesh combine. Select the verts. And really, we just need the verts along the center line, but you can select all of them. It's not going to matter. Because we can use edit mesh, merge components, and because this number is so low, it's not going to merge anything together that's not right on top of each other. So it should be symmetrical now, and you can check that out. Symmetry, no error. If I grab something and move it around, move on both sides. Okay, so now we've got a symmetrical model. Probably a good time to save. Symmetrical. And then you asked about the UVs. So I'm not sure what was going on, but let me just kind of re-demonstrate that with them real quick. So, for example, if I want to cut at the neck, I'm going to double click there. I got that edge loop around. I like to do a right mouse click here, two panes side by side. We'll put the UV editor in one of these. Oh, yeah, sorry, before I start messing with the UVs, I should do a planar map. So create UVs, planar map, and that just makes sure there's no seams there already. I don't really like the planar map. It doesn't help me. It's just that I want to make sure that there's no, any cuts anywhere. So, like I was saying, oh yeah, quick way to tell you if it's cutting it is if I go into display polygons, texture border edges, and it's very subtle, so it's hard to see, but so just take a close look at this line. It looks the same as the rest of them. I'm going to double click here and use this little these little scissors here. And can you tell how it's subtle, but that's thicker now? It's slightly thicker than the rest of the lines. So that's how you know that the those border edges have been cut. So let's do that again. Let's say we want to cut here and all the way around to there. Oh, went the wrong way. Let's try again. Yeah, I didn't really want to cut that far, so I'm just going to use Control to deselect, maybe up to there. So we've got this cut along the back of his head that meets at that previous cut. And once again, I'll use the separate UVs there. And again, you should see that getting thicker, so you can see that it's cut it. I might go, chin. Just shift double clicking there to here. Let me just check that. It's a little hard to see. Okay. And cut that. Okay. And yeah, maybe around here. A good one for this particular character. Sort of an unusual shaped head. You really need to fix that. It's, this is a many sided face. So, but again, let's focus on the questions at hand. So, obviously he's not going to unfold properly here. But we can just, unfold what we've got so far, which is not much. Select the UVs and unfold, and just make sure that my unfold is, where are you, set to unfold 3D. Okay, so you can see that, obviously I haven't done the whole body, I just did a few cuts on the head, but you can see it's starting to lay out. So not sure, maybe you were expecting to see more happen, I don't know, but you won't see any changes in the UV thing until you unfold it. So you'll only see those cuts by, again, showing the display polygons, texture border edges. And you see those very subtly thicker edges once you do the separate.